contact sports for a month, which personally, I don't like sports, so that wasn't really something that was hard for me to follow. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you all about how my eyes have been healing since I got Lasik eye surgery. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah. I upload videos every Monday and Friday, so feel free to stick around and subscribe. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. If you missed the first two videos talking about my Lasik, I would recommend watching those first because it kind of would make more sense. The first one, I talk about the process before my Lasik, leading up to it, like having to wear my glasses for over a week before, also how I was dealing with my anxiety. And then in my second one, I actually talk about the process of Lasik and basically like the procedure. And now I'm going to be talking about the post-op of Lasik, and I just like, you know, breaking it down into those three videos. But I would recommend you watching those first two first, but make sure you come back to this one. I'm filming this on Friday, September 6th. Just for a point of reference, I got my Lasik August 28th, so about a week and a half ago, and I'm seeing great. Really liking the process so far, but let me backtrack you a little bit to right after my Lasik. I did kind of mention my eyes were watering really badly and that kind of thing, so I'm not going to go into detail too much about that. But one thing that I did want to mention is that I did not know beforehand going into it is you actually have to use eye drops every 30 minutes for a week after your surgery. This is just an example. There's different brands, obviously, you know, with most things, but they have to be preservative free, and they're these single vial eye drops. They obviously do run you through the whole process of the post-op procedure, and I'm not, you know, saying this is exactly what you might have to follow. But this is my post-op experience. Obviously, your doctor would run you through your specifics, but I feel like a lot of the things are going to be similar. So anyway, as I was saying, there's two different brands. This is the TheraTears. I've also used Systane. Whenever I had my surgery beforehand, she did give me like a little kit of post-op things, which only comes with 5 vials of the Systane, which obviously isn't going to last you very long, considering that you have to use them every 30 minutes. I think there's only one left in here. I'll just show you, because I had never heard of these beforehand, but they do really stress to make sure to use preservative free. So the vial just looks like this. I guess I'll go ahead and use it on camera. So I just twist it off. Try not to touch the tip, obviously, to keep it sterile, and then literally just like put, you know, drops in each eye. And I try not to have my eyes to water too much, obviously, because I don't want to mess up my makeup. I thought I was going to go a full 2 weeks without using eye makeup. Like, let's just all laugh at that for a second, because here I am clearly wearing eye makeup. That is one thing that you had to make sure that you follow. Also, you get this really cool pair of sunglasses, and they just tell you to also wear these whenever you're driving or you're out in the sun or anything like that. I feel like for a while, I'm not sure exactly, maybe up to a month, but regardless, you need to protect your eyes from the sun anyway. Also, I had to use steroid drops 4 times a day for a week after my surgery. I had a post-op appointment this past Tuesday, and she looked at my eyes, and the swelling had, like, there wasn't any swelling, so I didn't have to use the steroid drops anymore. Oh, another thing that I kind of want to mention, at least with my specific Lasik, the cost also included post-op appointments, because obviously they need to check your eyes, you know, afterwards, make sure that everything's healing fine. So for me personally, there is an appointment one day after, obviously I already did that one. There was an appointment one day after my surgery, 1 week after my surgery, 1 month after my surgery, 3 months, 6 months, and then 1 year. Going back to the recovery process, and they obviously have some certain things that you can't do after. For example, I couldn't wear eye makeup for a week, and based on the frequency that I have to use my tears, which I will get into in a second, I thought I was gonna go, you know, the full 2 weeks without wearing eye makeup, but I just like eye makeup too much, so I did wait a full week though, so I was good with that. They say no swimming for 2 weeks, you can't do yard work for 2 weeks. I think no contact sports for a month, which personally, I don't like sports, so that wasn't really something that was hard for me to follow. And then also no motorcycle, but I've also never ridden on a motorcycle, so also wasn't something very hard for me to keep up with. So I had to use the preservative-free tears, the Systane, the TheraTears, whatever one. you know, you specifically choose. I had to use that every 30 minutes while I was awake, obviously, for up to a week. And then whenever I saw her recently on Tuesday, I can decrease the frequency. So now I only have to use them once every hour or two, which is kind of nice. And also I don't have to use the steroid drops anymore. Then I think she said after the second week, then I use it 4 to 6 times up until my 1 month checkup. And then she kind of looks at my eyes and evaluates the situation there. And as far as vision, so whenever I saw her on Tuesday, which was a little less than a week after my surgery, my right eye was 20/20 and my left eye was 20/25. So almost there, but it's not, you know, too alarming because my eyes are still healing. Also something that I failed to mention, I can't remember my exact prescription because I don't need that anymore. But I think my right eye was like -3.5 and then, or maybe -3.75. Then my left eye was -4. I do remember my left eye was worse than my right eye, so I do know that much. But she wasn't, you know, too alarmed whenever she looked and saw, you know, oh, my left eye was definitely worse than my right eye, so it's fine that I don't have necessarily 20/20 right now. The day after my surgery, I saw the person who actually performed my eye surgery, and I was telling him about, even this morning or that morning, the day after, it seemed like I still was wearing like contacts. I was like 0.25 less, like I couldn't necessarily focus in on things. And he said that that was totally normal. I think he said up to a month, like I should see pretty well. And then it might take up to 4 months for my eyes to completely heal. But personally, I think my eyes are gonna heal quicker than that, especially seeing that in my left eye I see 20/25, in my right eye I already see 20/20. Also, he mentioned that it would kind of fluctuate throughout the day while they're still healing, and if I don't necessarily see as well, that might just be an indicator that my eyes are dry. Because another interesting thing, he said, you might not be able to specifically sense if your eyes are dry because like nerves are severed in the process of Lasik, which I also didn't know until afterwards, which was like, probably for the best, but apparently they grow back from what they said, which I didn't know that was possible, but that's really cool. I thought, nice to mention, but I didn't know about the whole nerves thing until afterwards, and I just, sometimes it's just better not to know. But yeah, so my eyes are technically still healing at a week and a half afterwards, but I can wake up seeing. Sometimes it takes my eyes like a little bit to adjust. I feel like they might get kind of dried out maybe from sleeping or something like that. So I usually do use the drops as soon as I wake up, and that kind of clears up my vision. But I definitely can wake up and I can see a whole lot better than whenever before I had the Lasik. One thing that is they really stress, and I can see why, is they tell you to not rub your eyes afterwards, which I never really had a problem with rubbing my eyes, but they tell you that because you have the urge to rub your eyes afterwards, especially whenever they were running and they just felt irritated. But obviously, especially like right after your surgery, you don't want to do that. You want to let your eyes heal as much as possible. So just, close your eyes. But also kind of what I've said a lot is just, tell yourself the end result is going to be a whole lot better. You can be able to see, but there is a little bit of temporary discomfort, but all in all, I would highly recommend Lasik. Oh, I almost forgot to mention my super cool eye shield that I had to wear for 4 nights afterwards. That kind of protects something coming in direct contact with my eyes because of this little like rubber situation. This is super cool looking. So I just put this on whenever I was sleeping for the night or napping. They definitely want to protect your eyes. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention that. Quality content, you're welcome. That is all I have to mention about the healing process for my Lasik. I'm sure I forgot something, but I hope I didn't. If you have any questions though, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to answer them to the best of my ability. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. This is just my personal experience, but if I can answer it, obviously I will. Thanks again for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, feel free to stick around and subscribe. I post videos every Monday and Friday. Once again, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.